All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Selling Saturday, our 15 minutes to mastery Selling Saturday edition. We're going to be doing the Selling Saturday live for you now, carrying out a 15-minute just sales type meeting, get you some information, get you some great stuff for you guys to really get your day going and just get you on the right path each and every day. I feel that it's so very important so that we are able to be as effective as possible, because being able to have a right mindset going into the day is very, very important, right? Because you guys know that if we're not in the right state of mind as we're getting going, well, it's going to affect us. We're going to have some issues, and that's just not a great way to be when we're trying to have a selling Saturday. When we're Saturday is all about getting brand new business. At least it was for me when I was on sales floor, when I ran stores. It was all about making sure that we were doing everything possible to make sure that Saturday was just about selling. So let's get right into it. Check this out. Let me show you our quote for today. Great salespeople are relationship builders who provide value and help their customers win. Great salespeople are relationship builders who provide value and help their customers to win. Folks, we are in the value providing business. And how do we provide value? How is it that you provide value when you're sitting in front of a customer? What is the value that they are needing from us, from you, the sales consultant, from the sales manager, from the general manager? The value that they need is for you to be able to solve their housing problem, for you to be able to take care of the issue that has them coming into your location in the first place. That's the value that you add. And so helping them win, obviously the win is being able to get the home that they need. So how is it that we build value? We've been talking about that all this week. We've been talking about how is it that we can become better at what we do to be able to make sure that people are walking away with their needs taken care of, right? And with us being able to close more business on day one. That's been the theme of the week this week. We've been talking about closing, improving our closing skills. That is where we build our value, where we provide our value, in the fact that we can establish their need, figure out what that need is, and then satisfy that need. And that need comes down to one of five things. All right. I want you guys to take note of this. One of five things, and sometimes it's a combination of them, right? Pride, profit, love, need, and fear. Those are the five things that drive a customer buying a home, a client coming in, a home buyer coming in. Pride, profit, love, need, and fear. Now, what does that mean? Those are what we call their buying motives, their dominant buying motives. Whatever it is that you want, however you refer to it at your location, those are the things: pride, profit, love, need, and fear. So let's go through these. Pride. Okay. Pride would be the pride of home ownership. Somebody, a parent trying to provide a home for their family, right? Their first time buying a house. That's the pride thing. Maybe wanting to avoid having to go live with family. That's a pride thing too, right? But that could also be a need. So that's where I say sometimes it's a combination of things, but it's our job to figure out what the reason is. And the only way that we can figure that out, guys, is by taking your time. I can't stress it enough. Yesterday in our Closers School webinar that we did at 4:00 yesterday, we spoke about that. One of the main reasons why we're missing out so much nowadays is the fact that we are rushing through the whole process. And yes, there is a process to this. Some folks out there, some sales consultants are still thinking that we're in 2021, where you just had your pick of whatever customer coming in to be able to sell them a house because you were the only one that had a house available, because factories were out 6, 8, 12 months. So you were able to just pick and choose who you were going to sell to. Well, we're not in 2021 anymore. And at that point in time back then, yeah, you could come, you sit down, you figure out if they could even buy. And if so, okay, these are your only options. But now in 2023, going into 2024, it's a much different situation. The market has changed dramatically. Now it's back into a buyer's market. And now it's your turn to step it up. Now it's your responsibility to build that trust, to build that value, provide the value. And the way you provide the value is by slowing down, taking your time, and really being that practical psychologist, peeling back the layers of the client in front of you. And we're not talking about playing mind games. We're just simply talking about being able to truly understand what is going on, not just in here with them, but in their heart as well. The emotional aspect of it. Why is it that they're trying to get into a home? We need to understand that, because that is what's going to help us provide that value. That is where we shine. That is where you start to solve the problem, because that pride, profit, love, need, or fear, that's the problem. Think of the different situations. Think of just customers that you have sat with over the last week or two, and just stop to think of each one of them and figure out, okay, what was the real need there? Especially the ones that you didn't sell that could buy. You need to think about that. What was the real need there? Because that is your follow-up call. Your follow-up call, if you don't have any appointments today and you've got to get on the phone and start making follow-up calls or calling new leads on the follow-up calls, you need to make sure that you are figuring out what it is that was their real need. What brought them in? Are they living with family? Or is their lease coming up? Do they not want to be in an apartment anymore? Are they in a bad neighborhood? Are they trying to get their kids into a different school district? What is the situation there that's driving the decision? Because right now there's so many housing consultants that are concerned with the whole interest rate situation. They're losing business to the interest rate situation. And I give you that. I say, I can accept the fact that yes, the rates are higher. Everybody knows that, right? But you have to keep this in mind as well. Sometimes you're the one that's got to be thinking with your brain. Your client needs to be thinking with their heart, right? You got to keep them in their emotions. You need to be thinking with your brain. So understand this. Everyone knows that the rates are higher. Even your customers, even the people that are filling out the forms online to get more information on a house, even if the forms are or the customers are calling in, whatever it is their situation that's driving them to your office, they know that the rates are higher. They are not living in a cave where they don't know when they're filling out this information or calling to find out about the home. They know that the rates are 7.5%, 7.75%, 8%. They know that, and they're still shopping. They are still calling. They're still coming by. But now it takes you, us on the sales floor to be better, to be stronger, to be more tenacious, like the word that we used yesterday, tenacity, being more tenacious in the sale. Now, I'm not talking about being pushy. I am talking about not relinquishing the deal just because they say they need to think about it. Folks, you and I both know that right there, that's not a real reason. Okay. They are looking for a house. Something's not right. If they're telling you they need to think about it, something's not right. The house, the payment, the placement of the home, or maybe even the company or you got to find out what it is, but they don't really need to think about it. If you really found them the right home and they love it and it's in their budget, there's nothing to think about. Okay. Especially not with them knowing that the rates could go up tomorrow, the next week, whatever it may be. So they know that the rates are higher. You know that the rates are higher, but who's making it a situation? The salesperson is making it a situation. The sales consultant is making it a bigger problem than what it is. And in your head, you're already thinking that that's going to be the objection you're going to get. So you're probably not going to sell it. So guess what? From the beginning, when they walk in the door, you're not going all out. You're simply bringing them in. You're sitting them down. You're asking their information. You want to know what they were looking for in a house, and then you're off to show them homes. It takes a mind shift. It takes changing your perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I've been there. I've had that happen to me when I was on sales floor as well. Even as a general manager, sometimes I'd have to catch myself and whoa, where am I going with this, man? I need to shift back into understanding what the reality of it is. So right now, I'm telling you, housing consultants, I'm telling you, sales managers, general managers, retailers, housing, to be able to shift your perspective and understand that anyone who is sending in information, requesting information, anyone who's calling, anyone who's responding to your ads, they know that the rates are higher. Get that out of the way. Just like when we asked the question of why they're looking to buy, what's making them make a housing change, I always ask the question in this way. We talked about it yesterday in the Closure School webinar. Other than not wanting to rent, Mr. Customer, why are you trying to buy a home? I'm getting that out of the way, right? I don't want to know about not wanting to rent. No one wants to rent, and that's not a real reason. So what in here is driving you to make a decision to buy the home? What right in here in your heart is driving you to make a decision to buy a home today, other than not wanting to rent? So now in your case, I'm telling you as much. I'm telling you the same thing. In your case, as a housing consultant, sales manager, general manager, retailer, community, you need to get the rates thing out of the way, out of your head. They know that the rates are higher. And the sooner you can do that, the more focused you're going to be able to be, and the more centered you're going to be able to be, and you're going to come back to the basics. We need to get back to the basics. You hear it so much in sports, right? When a team is struggling, we need to get back to the basics. That's what you hear the coaches saying. That's what you hear the players start saying. We need to get back to the basics, blocking and tackling, whatever it may be, whatever sport it is. It's back to the basics. Same thing in sales. I'm asking you, I'm letting you know, you need to get back to the basics. And the basics is a predictable process. It's something that is slow. It's something where you're building a relationship up front. Don't bring them into your office and start asking them right away what they're looking for a home. You do that, ladies and gentlemen, and you're selling yourself short. You do that and you're just jumping right into business, and you just lost a prime opportunity to just get to know your customer. When you do that, you need to slow down. You need to bring them in and get to know them and build that, establish that trust, build that trust before you get into business. And when you do that, now you've earned the right to ask the hard questions. Now you've earned the right to be able to get into their finances, to get into their job, to get into the personal, emotional reasons as to why they're trying to buy a home. The whole rates thing, man, that's going to be something that they're just, that's their, I need to think about it right now. You've got to understand that. That's just the thing today. That's their excuse to be able to push you away because you did not do your job correctly. So today, this Saturday, all I'm reminding you of is this. Slow down. Get to know your customers when they sit in front of you, or even on the phone when you're talking to them, trying to bring them in. You've got to establish a little bit of rapport there as well before you start getting into business. You want to learn about that? Reach out to me. I've got a whole training section on just the phone game, because there's a special way to get that done to where you've already established that relationship up front. Okay. And we can get into all that, but you got to slow down, build a relationship, ask the pertinent questions, be bold in making sure that you're understanding exactly what's going on in here, what's going on in here, everything. You're the practical psychologist. All right. We wear many hats as a housing consultant. It starts with the telemarketer's hat when you're calling, right? Then it's the practical psychologist when they come in and you're getting all the information. Then you put on your salesman hat when you're out showing homes, right? Then you put your closer hat on when you're trying to get the deal done. Then you put your banker hat on when you're trying to get the deal financed. Then sometimes it's back to practical psychologist when they're trying to back out of the deal and you're trying to keep them in because they're just getting nervous or scared or whatever the situation may be. And then at the end of the day, it's the superhero cap once you delivered the house. Slow down, take your time, learn the process, become predictable. The most successful people in life are predictable. The most successful people in life do the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again because they master it. That's why we name this company Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. I'm not trying to make you good at manufactured home sales. We're not trying to help you become great at manufactured home sales. We're trying to help you master manufactured home sales. That's why this segment is called 15 Minutes to Mastery. We're not here to be good or great. We're here to be even more than outstanding. We're here to be masters at what we do. So this Saturday, you guys go out there and kill it, man. Take your time, establish that relationship, provide the value, build the relationships, and make it a win-win. Customer wins, you win, everyone wins. You guys go out and kill it. And I wish you a best selling Saturday, and I can't wait to meet you.